So there have been some questions about looking at if we should produce or not produce, or the shutdown point, or where we find profit. So we're going to go through how to use your marginal cost, marginal revenue curves to get that. So we've got dollars on one axis and output on the other. We have a marginal cost curve. We're going to put ourselves in average total cost curve. We're going to toss in an average variable cost curve. Cost. And what we're going to look at is if we put marginal revenue in different places on our graph, what's that going to do to if we would produce or not. So if we start up here and we see our marginal revenue line, this is first red line that I'm putting in here, we're going to produce where our output decision rule is. So we're going to produce where marginal revenue and marginal cost equal each other. So that's how much output we would have, whatever's down here. If this point right here is all that it's costing us to produce, what this means is that when marginal revenue is above your average total cost curve, we've created an area box that we're going to call profit, because it's only costing us here and we're making up here. If we put average variable cost here, so now we're kind of below average total cost but above average variable cost, so we put our marginal revenue there. Our new output decision is where marginal cost equals marginal revenue. Only at this point, we're not making any profit, because at this output level, that's how much it costs us to produce. And so we're below that. Our revenue is below that. But we are above our average variable cost, which means that we can still buy the seed in order to put it in the ground to produce it. So as long as we can cover our variable costs, we're going to keep producing. The problem comes in is when marginal revenue is down here or below your average variable cost. And we're not even on the marginal cost curve, so we don't really have an output decision there. All right, so when we are below average variable cost, we're going to call this shutdown. When we're between average variable cost and average total cost, we're going to keep producing, but we're not making any profit. And if our marginal revenue is above average total cost, we're making a profit. And this is where we have, from the supply curve, starts at average variable cost and goes up, because the supply curve tells us what we're willing to supply. And we're not willing to supply below average variable cost, because we would consider that a shutdown point. We're not able to even buy the seed in order to put it in the ground.